Hey everyone, welcome to Anti-Ruggers United. Today we have an AMA with Swish Finance. So let's get started by having them briefly introduce themselves, tell us their background in crypto, how they know each other, and if they're KYC, docs, what their personal life is like. Not life, but like if they have socials, if you could find them, and then we'll go from there.
Jay, you want to go ahead first?
Yeah, I can go first. So my name is Jason. I am the co-owner slash co-founder and developer of Swish Finance. I have been into crypto for the last 2-3 years now, but seriously into crypto as a developer as well for the past year and a half. This is not the first project I'm working on, but this is the first project that I am fully committed as a co-owner. And it has been a great experience so far. I am a professional basketball player. That's how we ended up working on a basketball game. That's why the project is a basketball project. My partner Steve can tell you about that as well. I think that's it for myself.
I have a question. Could you a little bit bring your microphone closer?
Yes, of course. I can try to be louder as well.
I made you like 200%, but it didn't help much.
Is this better now?
Yeah, now it's better. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm Steve, and my partner Jason introduced himself. So I've been in the crypto. Oh, sorry. I'm also the other co-owner of Swish Finance. I handled more of the legal stuff things and the graphic designing of the NFTs and the game development and ideas. That's kind of my thing. I've been in crypto for almost 8 years now, seriously for about 6. I was more on the compliance side of crypto. I have a background in compliance. So I also play professional basketball as well. That's where me and Jason connected. And it's kind of, bridging both basketball and our love for crypto together into one. That's kind of how we meshed together to make this project. I kind of just rushed through that really quick.
So you guys what teams do you play on?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna disclose that. I don't tell anyone who I
Yes, I'm not ready to do that either. Because we are KYC, but we're not doxed yet. I was planning on doing that during the fair launch if everything goes well. So stay tuned, and you're probably going to find out very, very soon.
Okay, but is it for the NBA?
No, we're not.
No, unfortunately. Not.
Okay, because I was about when I heard professional basketball, for some reason I was thinking ABA, but I'm like, wait a minute, it could be any other countries too. So this is from different country, right? What country you guys from?
So I am British, even though I sound American. I grew up in the U.S., but I am British. But yeah, I don't want to say where I play right now.
Okay, so you guys are. So basically, the KYC, they know who you guys are, right? You guys KYC, so they.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so and you're planning to do the doxing possibly after launch or after pre-sale or?
Yeah.
Myself, yes, of course.
Like, okay, so I guess we can't really prove anything right now, right? Because you guys are not publicly doxed. So let's go move on to but I mean, that's honestly pretty cool. I think that would be like, if that does happen, that could really pump the, project up. Let's say it's during pre-sale or during launch or whatever. That could be some pretty hype type of news, right? That it's actually, wow, it's actually true that, you guys do play basketball and you're on the team, everything like that. So that's cool. All right, let's go move on to the project itself. Can you have a presentation you want to tell us about the project, what it's all about?
Jason, you can take that one.
Yep, of course. So, simply put, Swish Finance is a play-to-earn project. It's Swish is going to be our main product. It's going to be the game. So Swish is basically a one against one basketball game. Uh, there's going to be two players that are going to be NFT characters in one arena, and they're going to be competing against each other for rewards. Basically, the way the game is going to be playing is pretty close. The way the play to earn part of the game is going to be is pretty close to what Minute Clips 8 ball pool, if you've played that before. So basically, there's going to be your money and your opponent's money at stake, and you're going to be playing for that reward. So the winner is going to be getting the most part of the pool, and then the loser is going to be getting some money back. When you gather enough uh, coins in game currency, you're going to be able to connect to our DApp and claim your rewards. As simple as that.
All right. Is there any information about the game? Do you guys have any demos or timelines when it's going to be released?
We do have a demo ready. It was pretty much just complete yesterday. There probably is a couple more tweaks to be done. We're looking to release that after the fair launch is done. So we do have screenshots and stuff like that that we will probably provide in the short future here. But yes, we do have a demo prepared.
So what would you say about the shots? What about like a trailer or like a preview?
And we're working on that right now. Like we have screenshots that we can prepare, but we haven't released anything yet because we've been kind of focused on getting this fair launch sorted out today.
Okay, so you got the fair launch. Has there been any previous sales?
You mean
No, we didn't do no private sale.
As a project. Sorry, go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, no worries.
So you say you haven't done any other sales, right? So this is fair launch. This is the only thing. The only thing you guys have.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Okay, let's go. Okay, let's see. So about the game development, how was it funded and how much did it cost to develop?
We developed it out of pocket. Again, I'm not going to give away our budget on what we did. I know people in-house that were able to do things for us. Our NFT guy is also in-house. It's a personal person that I know within our personal lives as well. But I'm not really going to disclose what our budget was for that.
Okay, so yeah, you guys basically out of pocket funded the game. Didn't have a private sale. So okay, let's go talk a little bit about the distribution right here. So pre-sale 28%, liquidity is 55% liquidity, and all these other things. You know, you have marketing, team, game. So it's a play to earn game. So 25% is going to go to earnings, and are most of these going to be? I think they're all locked, right? So I see like this locking schedules, and I'm more curious about like the team marketing and the development. Like, what is the vesting schedule like for all these?
It's gonna be I think 3% for the for the marketing. The TGE is gonna be 20%, and then for the rest there's going to be 10%. And basically, marketing and team is going to be 10% unlocking every 30 days, and then the project development is going to be 5% unlocking every 20 days. So they pretty much all add up to a year's worth of time. So it pretty much covers our first few phases of development. The rest are going to be locked until that specific phase, or pretty much that area, that timeline of the phase arrives. So, for example, let's say centralized exchange listings. So we have 7.5% saved for that. Those tokens won't be unlocking um, until we reach phase 4 of development, which is where we where we would actually consider centralized exchange listing.
Okay, I do like that the centralized exchange listing is only 7.5%, and small burns.
We didn't need that from previous experience.
Okay, so the tokenomics, all this is not too bad. Like the pre-sale percentage and all this. This is relative. This is okay. Especially all these tokens are going to be locked for a long time, so that is fine. I don't really have any issues with that. Let's go back to the game itself. So we did just have an AMA with another play to earn game, and we discussed how play to earn games are not sustainable. Like, it's hard. We haven't seen anything that's really, I mean, maybe like Axie Infinity, but like all these games, especially the more tokens they have here where they're giving it to people, it usually ends up dumping the chart, and then there's not enough investors coming in to buy it versus how many people are selling it. Well, selling it mainly because from holding and also because they're earning tokens. So do you guys have any, like, how are you guys planning to solve this issue with sustainability?
So, okay. The main source of income, let's say, for the game, to keep the game sustainable, obviously, is going to be ad revenue. So within the game, we do have some samples. If you scroll down to the NFT section, um, like on our website, the middle column is a couple samples for game arenas. So that would be how external partners would be able to advertise within our game. So we're gonna be having customized courts, banners within the court, where projects or external partnerships could be advertising their product or their service within the game. The money that we're going to be getting from the partnerships are going straight back into the liquidity for buybacks or to, pump up the whole. So like every time somebody dumps from their rewards, we're going to be buying at least a percentage of that back using the revenue that we're going to be getting from ads.
Where are the actual taxes on here?
You can see them in the IDO section. If you go to the swap fees tab.
Oh, here. This is yeah. This is so hard to see. I didn't even realize there's actually different tabs.
I can't
So
really see it on your screen.
yeah, my screen is like, it's like the purple is like hard. I didn't even realize. I was looking for that earlier on. I was like, where's all the other info? But now I just see that you pointed it out. That there's these tabs. So I would actually say to change the font colors on these because I didn't even find it.
We can try doing that.
Okay, so tokenomics. Okay, right here. This is, yeah. So this is distribution vested. Okay, this is what I was looking for earlier. Swap fees, 6% buy, 10% sell, marketing and liquidity, holder rewards. So 1% for rewards, and on sells it's 2%. And most of the taxes go into marketing and development.
Yep. I would also believe that there would be some sort of incentive for those who claim their rewards not to sell immediately because they are getting 1% holder rewards on the tokens they're going to be claiming. So that does give some kind of pressure to hold the tokens longer than they would supposedly do.
Okay.
Yeah, but I do think that's not enough to, make players keep their tokens in that form.
All right. Okay, so let's go back to this. So the fair launch started now. We have almost 5 days left. And then will you launch immediately or like 24 hours after it ends?
We are looking at 24 hours after it ends. It gives us enough time to do a couple more AMAs and more marketing to get some new buyers in.
And then another thing I want to say is after you launch, I think we talked about this a little bit. Like you say you're gonna release the game or the demo after, right? What about the full game itself? When will that be ready?
So we're looking at probably the first quarter of 2023. Obviously, sports games take a while to be developed. So they're one of the hardest type of games to develop. But we already have guys working on the full game. It's just obviously it's going to take a lot of time to implement the NFTs within the game and stuff. So yeah, we do have it on the roadmap. We are looking into the first quarter of 2023. It's in phase 5.
I mean, also like here's just to
Okay.
go off of that a little bit. I know we don't have much time, so I'm just gonna say it really quick. It's like we don't want to rush just to get a game out. I mean, it's the main product that we're supplying, right? So we want to make sure it's done correctly. I mean, I've obviously played the demo because I'm one of the founders and one of the creators of the project. And like I said, when I see things within the game that needs to be fixed, I look at it and I was like, okay, I'm a basketball player, so this is what I do as my profession. So I know to look for certain things. So we're constantly adjusting to try and deliver the best thing that we possibly can in the arcade kind of style. Um, so we're really focused on that. Definitely by the first quarter of 2023, we should be able to deliver this as well. But I mean, that's our main focus.
Okay, and what about the NFTs? Can you talk a little bit about that? When are they going to be released? Like the price, how many NFTs? Any information on that?
Yes, that's actually on our white paper. So there's 5 tiers of NFTs. The NFTs are ready to go. I have them on my computer, but there's a couple samples on the Swish Finance website. So we have 2D and 3D NFTs. And like I said, there's 5 tiers. So you go from your prospect, your rookie, pro, all-star, Hall of Fame. A Hall of Fame character is going to have Hall of Fame NFT is going to have better attributes than a prospect would. So you're starting off at a higher starting point. Obviously, the price is higher as well.
Because this is the white paper, right? The flash paper 2.0.
The white paper, yes, it's not the full white paper. There's a reason why we haven't released a full white paper is because we don't want to reveal everything that we have in the works right now.
Okay. So is this mainly just just because someone could just copy it, the concepts?
Yeah, we don't really want that because like we've scanned through the play to earn space. There's not really any sports basketball related kind of play to earn games. You mentioned Axie Infinity earlier. I mean, you have Axie, you have a couple games that are, you have Pegasus and stuff like that, but those games you don't really play much into them. So a game like this is definitely different because you actually get that playing experience. And with the demo, it's not only just for crypto people. Both crypto people inside of crypto and outside of crypto will have the ability to play this game once you have an iOS/Android device.
So with the NFTs, that will be like how you get the player that you can play in the game, right? You have to own the NFT, then you use that player.
Yes, exactly. So if you were a person that wasn't involved in crypto and you wanted to just try to see how it would go, and you're not involved in crypto, you wouldn't be able to earn. Obviously, you play with the standard generic character. But when you purchase an NFT, then yes, your NFT with your attributes within that specific player will be what you will use in the game.
And it's basically like a wager type of game. Will that be like also practice or like free just for fun type games too, or competitions?
Yeah, definitely, 100%. We're gonna add mini game sections for educational purposes for people getting into crypto as well, because I mean, crypto is in its infancy, honestly, and there's been a big push to kind of integrate people into crypto, and this is a good segue into that. So adding mini games, and we do have a couple of them ready as well, but adding in mini games to provide educational content for people to get an understanding of what crypto actually is and not just focused on just the earning aspect also, helps with that as well.
So then the game will come out in is that Q2 2023, Q1, and the NFTs will be you need the NFTs, you need to sell some at least to kind of fund the development, right?
Yeah.
So will you be selling them in like batches? Because I see that it's 10,000 total.
Yes.
Okay. And when will be like approximately the first? Do you have like a ballpark date for the first sale of the NFTs?
So we have that on the roadmap as well. We're looking to do that in Q4. Well, we're in Q4 now, so somewhere in Q4 of 2022. So sometime in the next couple months or less.
Okay. Are they ready, or are you still working on them? At least for the first batch.
They're ready. The first batch is done.
But are they like, have you shared them, or like not only what's shown on here so far?
I've only shown previews of it, but like I said, it's a concept. We have an in-house artist. I don't really want to share that kind of stuff yet until we, start to get some traction first.
Okay, so another thing is about the NFTs. So would they be like a random, and then I see there's different prices, so it's not gonna be like if you're lucky you get the Hall of Fame. It's like you actually mint the one you want, right?
Yeah,
But it's gonna be a
exactly.
random within that price range.
It depends. We're still kind of deciding on that because we want people to kind of pick a character that that they really do want, and like you can see in the white paper as well, it also says because we had this question asked yesterday. Um, you have a point guard, a center, like the five positions in basketball. So if someone wants a center, they're gonna have different attributes than point guard, for example. So we're working out to finalize those numbers to see exactly how many of each position within each tier is going to be released. So we're thinking that you're going to be able to get the character that you plan to get.
All right, and obviously how these guys, the Hall of Famers, will have a lot better stats than the rookies, the prospects. So how will that relate with the game itself on the wager system? Like how will that all interact? Because you don't want like prospects playing against Hall of
No,
Famers and
that'll
losing.
never happen. Because you're in that tier system, you'll play within your respective area. So Hall of Fame players will only play Hall of Fame players. Within that, just because you have a Hall of Fame player doesn't mean that that's it, right? Like, because we do also mention that you can buy upgrades for your player and you can have cosmetic upgrades for your player, which can affect different stats, right? So, say for example, you buy just a regular Hall of Fame point guard, but then I buy a Hall of Fame point guard as well, and then I buy additional energy, which just means that I obviously can play more games than your point guard can, right? Or I buy better shooting for him, so that will come in the form of shoes, for example, or an arm sleeve, or something like that, some cosmetic upgrade to add to his attributes. So I might have a better shooter as a point guard than you do, or you might purchase a different pair of shoes to give you more speed. If you see what I'm trying to say.
Okay, so how does it work with the play to earn aspect of it? Because so it seems these Hall of Fame guys, they're playing against other Hall of Famer guys, so they're gonna earn, but you could only earn what you wager, basically. If you wager like half a BNB each, then you could only earn like the pot there. So would it just increase, like, basically what's the purpose or the point of having these more expensive players? Well, you only playing against each other in a way. What's the advantage, I would say? Is it because you don't really earn more? I mean, I guess you do because you wager more, you earn more, you also
Yeah, you
risk
would.
more, right?
You kind of just answered that yourself. But yeah, that's what you would kind of have to do. You have to wager a certain amount in order to get into that tier. So you wouldn't be able to, obviously, for prospects, because we're trying to make it as playable for everyone as possible, right? So if you're a prospect, you most likely, and I'm not assuming, but most likely you don't have as much money as someone that has a Hall of Fame player, for example. So you tend to wager less. But if you're into the game a lot more and you manage to purchase a Hall of Fame player, the stakes are tending to be higher. It's like almost like, actually that's a bad comparison. I'm not gonna say that, but like when I would play poker and stuff like that, right? Like when I first started, I play poker for fun sometimes as well. But I used to play low stakes, but it used to get annoying because I have to play a ton more games. But then when you start playing higher stake games, you know, you get on a roll or whatever, you don't have to play as long. But
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So it's more like if you want to do higher stakes, you don't have to grind as many games, as an
yes, yes,
example.
yes,
But it's still, at the end of the day, it's all going to come down to skill, right?
yes.
And is there going to be some kind of like skill-based matchmaking? Because if you have like the top guys or top players are basically winning all the
Yeah.
time, they're essentially taking everyone else's money, and eventually, no one else is going to want to play.
No, of course. So we'll have like ranked leagues as well, and like that kind of comes back into like the whole tournament aspect and competitions aspect that you were talking about as well. Because not everyone. I mean, some people will have the same style of player, but not everyone will have the same player. Like you made a good point there, right? So say for example, you have a top guy that has completely maxed out their player, right? Uh, they might have a point guard, but then they'll go play a top tier center. It will come down to the skill based part at that time because obviously they're two different characters. Even though statistically they might be good, they both have different attributes that they're good at. So it'll come down to that kind of player, but we'll have different, like a ranking kind of scheme within it, so you don't kind of. Have you ever played Theta Arena, or have you ever seen it before?
No, I don't think I played that one.
Okay, so it's Theta Arena is kind of like a battle royale kind of style, but you stay within certain ranks when you know upgrade your character enough and you build on that character, then you slowly move up the ranks as you get X amount of XP. But obviously, if you can't sustain it, then they move you back down into the previous rank, if that makes sense.
Okay, all right. So I have another question about, let's go back down to this page right here. So, fair launches, I'm sure you know the performance, how they've been performing lately, and well, forever really. So I would say the big issue with fair launches is the buy pressure. So if everyone that could buy or wants to buy could buy in right now, right? And then what happens is if you have all these guys or all these investors or Gs, if the project fails to do anything after launch, they basically cut their losses and move on because they're there for the quick gain, the quick 2x, 3x, wherever it is. And if it doesn't do anything, if it just even if it starts slowly selling off, they just like sell, and that causes a lot of other guys to sell too, right? It's like a cascade, like it's a domino effect, and that's the main issue with a lot of these fair launches because like all the buy pressure goes in the fair launch, and there's no new investors coming in at launch, unless you do like spend a couple days, or you said you're gonna have one day to do more AMAs. I feel that that's like the only way to make it successful is because you need to do marketing after fair launch, before launch, to bring in new eyes on there, bring some new hype on there, right?
Yeah,
So
I would say that is the reason we kept the soft cap so low. Yes, fair launches don't create such high buying pressure, but the 24 hours we're gonna have is plenty of time to push hard marketing there. So we are getting some eyes on the project during the fair launch, but the heavy marketing is going to be when the fair launch is completed to get new buyers in to, let's say, buy the dip if there is one, or create the buying pressure at launch because it's all about FOMO in DeFi. Obviously, it's going to be, oh, I sold or I didn't buy enough at fair launch and now it's pumping. So yes, the main not problem, I would say, but uh, the main concern we have is yes, that buying pressure, but I think we have the right strategy or plan, let's say, to create that buying pressure when the fair launch is over.
okay, yeah, because we did have a project a couple days ago that was just like a promo pinned. It wasn't even an AMA. But that was the first fair launch that I actually remember that did like 3x, that didn't, immediately like dump. And that's what they did. I think they spent at least basically what they got our promo after fair launch. So I didn't even know about it until after fair launch was over. So they did this huge, pinned strike package across like 20 call channels after fair launch. So a lot of everyone that it's almost like a whisper of a fair launch. Like no one really knows about it, and then the main marketing came after, and that's probably why it did 2-3x instead of dumping like all the other fair
Yeah,
launches.
that is
So
the plan we're looking at. That is the model we want to go after.
okay, and that's good. That's good. So yeah, honestly, that's a good idea because, like I said, you've seen it too. I think you agree with me, right, about all these other fair launches. They just,
100%, 200%. We did
it's
think
a
of that.
it's like a domino, right? Even like if you don't want to sell, but then you see everyone else is selling, and you're like, oh shit, I got to get out of here before it dumps. And so my last question before I open the community for questions, let's say it does, let's say it struggles, it doesn't do so well. Let's say at launch, let's say it goes below launch price, below pre-sale, and that's kind of when people start panicking and selling. So let's say that leads to like a sell-off, and then there's not enough people to buy the dip. Do you guys have any plans, any marketing, any ace up your sleeve, or to hopefully turn that around?
Yes. Okay. So we do focus a lot on external partnerships. I have mentioned that before as well. Um, there's obviously a lot of people in crypto looking to make a quick flip. So like what you called before, the Jeeps. So obviously there's going to be a lot of people looking to do that. If that happens, we are going to have that external marketing, bring new people in that don't know how this thing works, and are looking into buying the project, just by looking at the fundamentals and not the chart. Um, we have obviously we are professional athletes, so we have a lot of connections in the space, and there's plenty of people interested to advertise a play to earn game in our let's say in our circles. And I know a lot of people personally that wanted to invest in a private sale, and I we didn't want to have a private sale. And they're going to be there to not just buy the dip, to put the word out for the game. And as long as the game grows as a product, the chart is gonna go up at some point. It just gives a better price for the new investors to come in if it dumps. I
That's
don't think
true.
that's the end of it.
I think that the main thing is making sure the devs just don't don't give up and make the community lose even more hope, because a lot of times the devs get demoralized. Let's say the price down 50%, and then they're not around. Then so they're not giving the community that's there. They're not
Yeah,
giving them a reason to hold, right? Like so then
yeah. I
even the
feel
most
that amazing
hardcore
time.
believers lose. Yeah, so I
I
think as long as yeah, as long as no matter what the price does, as long as you guys are there, you guys providing updates, you're actually working on the game, and you showing that you're active, that will definitely find the floor. And once you build up the game and you provide more and more things, it's going to start back up again. So I don't see a problem. I think the main issue is devs blame it on investors, but in reality it's really the devs,
Yep,
because they're
it's
not.
really about growing the project and not looking at the chart because
Yeah,
whatever the case is, we're during a bear market. So that is the best time for a project to build and
exactly.
get on their fundamentals. And whatever the chart does, when the bull market is up and your project is still there and you still have a product, you're gonna go up with the rest of the market. It's just a matter of being there when that happens.
Yeah, definitely. I think just showing presence, and that gives do you guys hear that?
Yeah, is that someone's car? Wait, what just happened?
Oh, I'm seeing some super loud. There you go, fixed it. I set the timer. I never used the Google timer, and then I was like, "Holy shit, that's loud."
No, you're good.
No, that's the first time I heard that sound.
But
Yeah.
I wanted to say something to both your guys' point really quick. Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. That we have to be present. And like I said, I've been in crypto for almost 8 years now, so I've been through two bear markets already. I know what the sentiment is like, and people like think that it's the end of the world, and it's not, because that's the time that you're supposed to be building. Anyone can build anything when the market is good because people are throwing money everywhere, right? You feel like you're on top of the world and you can't lose, and then the moment that you see a dip, it's like, okay, yeah. But it's not even just crypto that is in a bear market, right? Like you look around economically and you can see everything that's happening. But those people that are still focused on building during these times are the ones that are going to be successful when everything starts to be back on the up and up.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, we have a project too that we were working on. We've been working on it since basically a year, since October, and we're not like in a hurry, because we're real, people, real company, real project. We're not here to, just pump and dump. So we're not worried, just taking our time. So
100%.
that's all that matters, and that's kind of when you see the difference between the real devs and the ones that just want to farm LP, farm the investors basically, and release as many projects as possible within a short period of time, because you can make a website in like 20, couple of hours, or every week you can make a project, you know.
Trust me. I mean, anyone that was like in DeFi, like between like the end of last year going into like April would definitely know that because there was notice of service projects coming out of everywhere, and they were just rugging for any amount of money possible, and it'd be like 15, 20 of them spinning up in a day. You know what I mean? So yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So awesome, guys. I definitely like. I'm excited. I still, want to see a little bit more of the game. I feel like, a little bit sneak peeks here, like, like a demo or something. That'd be nice, or not even a demo, like preview, like a trailer. That'd be awesome. And you guys gonna have that before the fair launch is over, right?
We
The
can
trailer.
maybe the trailer, yes, but it depends on how busy we get over the next few days.
Or maybe that's the strategy you could use. Don't show anything, let the fair launch people, dump, and then, show the trailer, boom, and then buy the dip,
Yeah, exactly. That's another
That
way
could
to look
work
about
too.
it as well. Yeah. So I mean, that's something that we think about. It's kind of like hard to decide which direction to go, considering the fair launch has only been going on for a few hours. You know what I mean? So I mean, you kind of gather that sentiment after the first 24 hours, and it's okay. You know what? Let's hold off on this, and then we'll make that decision.
Okay, yeah, perfect. Thank you. Okay, guys, community time. Anyone has any questions? Community questions? All ye Jeets. No. Hi, sir. Can I sell for 2x after pair launch?
Are you guys based in the U.S.? Like, is this group like a U.S. based group?
Well, this group is really international. I'm from the U.S. We have a couple guys from the U.S. We have Europe, Africa, Asia, literally everywhere.
I saw a
Yo,
bunch of U.S. flags in the group. That's why I was curious.
yo. Well, if you see U.S. flags, they're not from the U.S. I can tell you that.
Yeah,
That's
probably.
That's not true. Every patriotic American put the U.S. flag at everything. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
We do have Canadians. We do have condas from the U.S. I'm from the U.S. Jason's from the U.S. Yeah, we're basically everywhere.
I have a question / comment, and I just want to see if it works. Actually,
Yeah.
I put it in the chat, but so you guys are gonna have like a game mode like where anybody could play, like just random people that don't own NFTs or don't even have own crypto wallets or anything, right?
Yes. I tried to answer that question, actually. I saw it.
Yeah, I was thinking like, what if you don't let them play without an NFT, but they don't have to buy one? They just will have to like choose from one of the, like, let's say I own an NFT, right, and I want to rent it out. Maybe you can do a renting out thing where you can actually rent it out, and then people will be able to use your NFT to play with, and then they'll gain a small percentage, and then you gain the rest of the percentage, right? But I was
Okay.
thinking, what if also you had a game mode where, like, if I owned an NFT, I rent it out to random people that don't have, that aren't going to get a percentage on playing with your NFT. You'll get the full percentage, but when those players are done playing the game, it'll show them like, look, you could have made this much money if you own this NFT or if you rented it out or whatever.
I
You
actually
know,
like that. I like that second idea a lot. That's something that, you know what, if you don't mind, can you and I talk a little bit afterwards? I'll send you a DM.
yeah, for sure.
The first one, yes, I have thought about that. It's kind of like I mentioned Pegasus earlier. It's something that we do have in our internal white paper between Jason and myself. It's kind of like a GM mode, I guess, where you're renting out, you and the other person that you rent your NFT out to, you
Yeah.
kind of come to some sort of an agreement. So you, as the owner of the NFT, you obviously will get majority share, and then whoever's using your NFT will get their percentage or whatever as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have run that idea. It's just just talk about it. We haven't really done that yet because that's in our internal white paper. But yes, we do have plans for that 100%. But I do
Yeah.
like the second part of that. That's a really good idea.
Yeah, also on the second part, I was thinking like, if like whoever owns the most NFTs or the most of the token or whatever, they'll have their NFTs will be more visible, right? Like, so they'll have like
Yeah.
if you own the most NFTs or the most token, your NFT will always pop up when players are looking to play the game,
we can
right?
make a trending thing, like when you go on,
Yeah.
because essentially it kind of be like a market, right? You look at it and be like, okay, what NFT is the most poppin' NFT for the week or whatever. So yeah, no, I get it 100%. I mean,
Yeah, for sure. All right, cool.
But that's the first thing that came to mind. So.
Any more questions, guys? By the way, Perfect Jeet. Are you planning to cheat this project at exactly 2.0x?
There's no more 2.0x, man. They're all cheating for like 1.1x.
1.1x after tax.
It's not even the X's now; it's the time. It's like 2 seconds. I'm gonna sell in 2 seconds.
Yeah, if it doesn't like go 10% over launch price, I'm gonna cheat right away.
You guys are allowed to do that. We're not going to judge.
No, we don't do that kind of stuff. Only Perfect Jeet does. He's the only guy in our community.
What's the hard cap for the pre-sale?
There's no hard cap because it's a fair launch. That's what we were discussing right now. So
we have a 44 BNB soft cap right now.
44 BNB. Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna. Yeah. So there was a P2E project right before you guys, and let's chat. Let's chat after this. I have some ideas you guys might want to try out instead of very long.
I'm gonna send you a DM right now. Just shoot me.
For sure.
Your idea.
Cool.
Yeah, because we generally don't like fair launches. That's why we were asking you about, the marketing after fair launch, because, like, just based on, past performance of all the fair launches, you could kind of make the conclusion yourself. 95% of them dump after launch.
Yeah, that makes sense. I totally understand that. And we did consider doing a whitelist pre-sale. It's just I've done that before as well, and it was a way worse experience than dumping. I had 200 people on a whitelist and the 50 BNB hard cap, and it didn't reach the soft cap. So I don't like that either, because obviously you want to create buying pressure, and then you do promise some people the opportunity to buy, and when they don't show up, it hurts you even more, I would say. So
yeah, I think a lot of people whitelist, especially nowadays with the bear market, they get the whitelist anyways, just in case it's hyped.
Yeah,
but it's like they're all on the fence. If they don't see it filling fast enough, it's almost like everyone's waiting for everyone else. So you need someone just to go and start filling it, and then everyone else follows. It's like herd mentality right now.
Yeah. But you don't really see that with the fair launches, so that's why we wanted to go towards that direction.
Fair launches have a different problem. They basically don't fill till like the last hour.
Yeah, I mean, we'd happily want to see it fill, and then we don't mind the timing, and we're gonna do our best to stop it from dumping or getting it popping right back up after it dumps, if it does.
All right. Fair enough. But yeah, honestly, especially with the hard cap, if it ends up being not too big, and then you guys do some good marketing after, then this project could definitely, do some good, returns, even for the perfect Jeets out there.
I'll make sure the Jeets are disappointed after we launch. I'll make sure.
Yeah. Make sure they sell for their 1.2x, and then you go like 10x after that.
Yeah. Like the next hour.
All right, guys, any more questions? Anton, you have a question?
Yes, I do. Okay, do you guys hear me well?
Yeah.
First of all, you guys are professional athletes, and you said that a sleeve improves your shot.
Hey, it's for in-game mechanics. Don't come at me.
Yeah, not real life. It's not a realistic game.
It's an arcade.
I'm about to.
First of all,
I'm about to go. I'm about to go and buy a freaking sleeve.
Don't do it. Shoes, baby.
No,
Shoes could help with your like height.
I just don't practice enough. So
with your vert, it can help with your vertical.
You could get a shoe upgrade NFT so you could dunk better.
Are you gonna have Are you gonna have like a Monster or Red Bull sponsor you guys? You guys can have like if someone pays for a Red Bull, they get like extra stamina or something like that.
In theory, not Red Bull or Monster, but yes, in theory, we're working on something like that. Yeah.
Cool.
So you purchase an NFT like that, it gives you more energy, which then adds to your stamina. So you're able to, your shots will be more consistent and stuff like that. So I mean, you're on the right page, 100%.
Not Red Bull yet.
Hopefully, one day we'll see.
Gatorade.
We can get Gatorade. I want to try for Gatorade.
Who drinks Gatorade?
I mean, I don't drink Gatorade, but it's a huge market, so.
No, of course, 100%.
But yeah, another thing I want to ask is, you guys say you're not doxxed, but you're not doxxed to the community, right? But your actual real life, friends and teammates, they do know you're working this project, right?
Yeah, 100%. I'm doxxed to a fair amount of people, actually. I'm just not doxxed. There's reasons why I'm not doxxed public in the crypto space. I can share them if you guys want me to. That's okay.
I mean, I know why. Like, this is the reason why I'm not doxxed either. So.
Oh, there you go. So I mean, this is like for obvious reasons. And to be honest, people that are doxxed in the space rug people all the time, anyway. So I mean, it really doesn't make a difference.
Exactly, especially if you get KYC docs and SafeU badge. Then you're definitely going down 90% in 3 days after launch.
like I said, I did compliance for a few projects. Some of them happen to be some in the DeFi space, and I mean, some of those projects did really well. But still, everyone was doxxed. Their whole teams were doxxed, and they still rugged everyone. So it doesn't really make a difference. But yeah, no, I want to keep my personal life separate from my work life until it gets to a point that I kind of have to bridge the gap of two. But it's like, okay, when I get off this anime, I can just go back to focusing on basketball because, with that being our careers, it's like if I'm not locked into that as well and I have distractions, then obviously won't get paid. So I have to keep focused on the two, but keep them separate for now.
Yeah, perfectly understandable.
Yeah, I would like to add to that. If the people need a couple of stickers to put their trust in a project, I think they're not doing their research on the project. Because if you go on Pinkso right now and see the #1 trending project, BGVT, Big Game Burst Token, it's at 10,000 BNB right now, and they just updated their KYC like a day ago. I mean, based on that, I would say the stickers on the pre-sale do nothing more than just convince the people that have already been convinced,
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't know. I feel like a lot of these pink sale projects, they're literally filled with pink sale themselves. Like, I'm not gonna lie. No, the more that it's filling, the more likely it's pink sale scam and it's gonna dump right after launch. Like, well, let's see what happens to this one. I mean, I have zero information about this project, but especially like the fair launches where they like fill like 1,000 BNB overnight and then at launch they like dump like 70%. Pink sale's filling them to stay relevant. They're trying to stay relevant by faking it. That's how they got big in the first place. They're filling all their own pre-sales because they scammed. I mean, I honestly I won't accuse them of scamming previous projects, but many people think they or have that trace them to previous like rug pulls, and they said that they basically rug pull to fund their launch pad, and then they started filling their own pre-sales, and that's kind of how they got to where they are.
That's crazy. I mean, these guys have what, 10,000 BNB?
I was looking to see if it's a subscription model, but it seems like it's just like a normal pre-sale.
There was a subscription model that I was looking at earlier. I think their pre-sale's done though, but yeah, no, this one, yeah, they have 10,000.
Yeah, I'm curious how big the Telegram is.
Yeah, so far.
Hey, Boria, I'm DMing with the team, so we might even have to scratch this whole pre-sale idea. I don't know.
Yeah, the fair launch. I mean, yeah, definitely. We'll see how it goes, but I'm not a big fan of fair launches, and I don't think you are either. So
No, not really. It depends on the project, but yeah, pretty much. I mean, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, it
It's
depends. Because like I said, the other one we had, like that was one of the first ones that I seen that actually did well, and that's because they did a lot of marketing after the fair launch.
Yeah, so with fair launches, you want to hit your marketing on like let's say it's a 3 day fair launch, right? You know everybody's gonna FOMO in the last freaking hour or two, right? So you want to hit your marketing in the last hour, like really blow it up. Then it closes, and then people by the time they see it and they're like, shit, I wanted to get into that. They didn't get in, and then they're ready to buy at launch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely, and especially because launch is like literally the day after as well. That makes sense.
Yep, oh, exactly. Guys, I gotta wrap it up because I have a meeting coming up right now.
No worries. We really appreciate you. We appreciate the vibes, guys.
Yeah, no problem, man. Yeah, thanks for coming. And honestly, this was a pretty awesome AMA, real fun. So I would like the community to go in the Telegram group, guys, and give them some support. And yeah, let's keep in touch. If Gonda could convince you, maybe like figure out a different strategy for launch, I think that'll be better actually. But other than that, you guys want to do like a closing statement?
We just want to appreciate you guys for for having us. Like Jason said, we've been on AMAs every single day for like the last week. So really do appreciate that. Jay, I'll let you talk. I'm kind of tapped out. I'm not gonna lie.
Yep. I would also like to thank you guys for having us on here. I really like the community, how active it is. And yeah, I really, really appreciate the opportunity. Even the short time span we've had. Been a great vibe, and we'll definitely keep in touch. We'll be around in your community. We like doing that.
Yeah, that's the kind of projects we like to invest in and hold is when the devs are actually active and always giving us updates. Because I mean, I don't have time to go check out 100 different telegrams of the projects I'm holding and figure out when they're migrating, and then I have to send my tokens in, stuff like that. So that makes me not want to hold, because if I forget about a project and I look at the chart 3 months later and I see that, oh, they migrated, so my tokens are worthless now, and I was supposed to send them in. I'm like, I'll be pissed off about that. I'm like, do you want me to do all this extra work? I'd rather just sell and forget about it.
Yeah, exactly. We like to stay active in our community and in other communities as well that we know have like an actual fan base that pays attention.
Yeah, definitely. So thanks guys. And yeah, well, the fair launch started, so let's see how it's gonna go, and if and then if anything, maybe they'll change it up. So a good talk, good AMA, and
Yep,
I'd like
there's
to.
always a plan B.
Yep. Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, and definitely interesting, especially once you guys docs. I want to see your stats. Maybe buy your basketball card. I have a
Thank you
good
guys.
one. Yeah, thanks guys.
How old are you, Boria?